Over 3,000 people have bought my online course, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. In fact, I wake up every morning to new payment notifications. And I want the same to be true for you. If you are launching an online course to your YouTube audience, today I want to take you on behind the scenes look, an inside tour of how I automate the sales for my course so that you can do the same and experience the same type of results on your course with your audience. Hello, welcome. My name is Tim Schmoyer, and this is Video Creators, where we are all about helping those of you who are more established creators with next level tactics that will further grow your audience and the business that surrounds that audience. And today we're talking about that in the context of online courses. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see YouTube creators make when they create their first course or even products in general is that they don't sufficiently really plan out the customer journey. The customer journey are simply the steps that you want someone in your target audience to take that will lead them to a sale. A lot of creators, they think that a customer journey is just like, well, I let my audience know that this thing is available for sale and they should go just buy it, right? And if you've tried that, perhaps you've seen that, you can get something off of that, but for the most part, it doesn't generate nearly as much sales and many sales and revenue as you were probably hoping it would. It's very important that you intentionally and strategically map out every single step and make the next step abundantly obvious. If there's any little bit of friction in there between steps, you're going to see a huge drop off in the number of people who are taking that next step with you. Before we dive into the weeds and I show you the back end of everything of how I have it set up, I first want to give you an overview of what this process looks like so that when we dive into the weeds of it, that it all makes sense and you don't get lost. Now, the main way that we first generate lead is by just offering really valuable content through organic means. People are just coming in for free. They're finding our content, whether it be content we're publishing on our website through blog posts and articles. Maybe they're finding us on iTunes and subscribing to the podcast, or they're watching videos like this here on YouTube and they're finding us and they're getting into our content and hopefully being like, wow, like this is really helping me as an established creator know how to take next steps to really grow my audience and grow my business. So we want you to camp out in that world for a little while at first. But eventually, you're going to hear this pitch for our free guide called The Secret to Building Your YouTube Audience. And there you will give us your email address. When you give us your email address, the first email you get is a link to download this free guide. Currently, it's a 5-email sequence. Those emails lead into a pitch for our course, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. There are times when we make a piece of content where this video or this podcast episode is uniquely designed to skip this whole process and go straight to generating a sale for our course, 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. The reason why we don't usually just go straight from the free content into a sale every time is a couple of reasons. One, the more we do that, the more likely we are to be ending the viewing session on YouTube, for example, and YouTube doesn't like that. They want people to stay here on YouTube as long as possible. The other reason why we don't do it in every video is that very rarely when someone just finds you for the first time, are they ready to dive in and become a customer? Usually they want to kick the tires a little bit more. They want to consume more content. They want to listen to a few more podcast episodes, or they're going to become a YouTube subscriber, and they need to grow to know, like, and trust you and your credibility before they're willing to probably take the next step. Now, we have been experimenting more recently with paid traffic. We're doing some paid ads on Facebook and on Instagram. Let's just try putting this course in front of people who are in our world, but they've never really made this next step. That's usually what you do with like cold traffic, like people who have never heard of you before. They have no idea who you are, and the only reason they're signing because they really want that guide and it's lower friction. So this is the overall picture of what it looks like. What I want to do now is take you to my desktop and walk you through each of these steps and show you what it actually looks like on the back end. The first step you take with us is sign up right here, give us your email. We're always funneling them to this lead magnet. It could also come through our YouTube videos at the end. Here's the free guide right here. Download the free thing. And there's also a link to it down in the description of the video. Or like I said, we've got the podcast. Here's our customer journey that we want you to go through from here. Love video creators, want to grow on YouTube. Here's some next steps. Number 1, subscribe, ebook, become a member. Let's connect. We're trying to make that customer journey abundantly clear for them. Now that's where the organic traffic is coming in, getting them to click, all to lead them to this page. You're doing your lead magnet page. A mistake that people often make is they just tell the viewer, download the free guide, or it's like, here's what you're going to get. But it's very important both in your YouTube titles and thumbnails as well as in your sales copy, whether it be a free lead magnet or something, that you always focus on the benefit or the reward the viewer is going to get. So this headline here is learn how to build a highly engaged community through YouTube for free. This is the main value reward you're going to get. Once they give me their email address here, we use an email campaign manager called ConvertKit. We have these automation rules set up. When this trigger happens, when someone subscribes to this one of these forms, we have multiple different forms on our website, and the reason we have all these different forms instead of just one is because it allows us to better track conversion rates of like this form on this sidebar converts at this rate, this form on this page converts at that rate. And so it just makes it a little bit easier for us to track those stats. So we just have, whenever anyone subscribes to any of these forms, the action we want to take is subscribe them to this sequence. And then we're going to tag the user. You don't really need to do that step, but we like tagging everyone in our email list so that we know exactly where everyone is. So sometimes we're like, we're going to send this email out to everyone, but if they're still in the onboarding sequence here and they haven't even got to the pitch for 30 days to a better YouTube channel, like this email isn't for them, let's not send it to them. So we can then segment out, send this to everyone except for people who are tagged with in 30-day sequence. And we've experimented with different things, and this is just kind of currently what seems to be working best for us. And so then we send the very next email. Currently, we send it the next day. I don't like getting a lot of email myself when I sign up for something like this, but it does work because I think what happens otherwise is people then forget. Like even 2 days later, 3 days later, people are like, oh, like I downloaded that thing, and they forget that like now that was from you. People are busy. They just got a lot going on. Our open rates and our engagement is much better, click-through rates and everything. And sometimes what we're doing is just taking like a little piece that was from the guide that hopefully they've already read by this point, and then just expanding that more. Like we talk about this in the guide, and that's really true, but like there's also this other thing that's really important that goes along with that. We didn't have time to give it to you in the guide, but we want to give it to you here, and just giving really helpful information. By the time we get to email 4, we're still giving good information, but we're kind of more now teasing the problem that you as a creator are experiencing. This is the roadblock you're facing, and it makes the reader feel like, yes, they understand me, they get me. That is my exact problem. And we're like, here's what you need to do to start solving that. We've got this course called 30 Days to Better YouTube Channel, and a little bit of like a customer testimonial in here, and then a link where you can buy it. And then the last email is just like, we've been talking about this 30 Days to Better YouTube Channel thing. If you're interested, here's one last reminder, because I don't want people unsubscribing, because not everyone's ready to make a purchase, or they're not ready to buy the course yet at this point. So we're just like, hey, I promise I'm not going to bug you. This is the last time I'm going to send you something about it. Some people are like, thank you. Right? And other people are like, oh, I'm not getting, this is my final chance, like I'm gonna get on it now. If they do buy, then you send them into this sequence for like the next level thing. For us, like that doesn't start, that's delayed by like months before that happens. If they don't buy, then you're like, okay, well maybe this person doesn't want a course, maybe they want to do a consultation. We wait a little bit, and then they eventually start another sequence to do a YouTube consultation with me or someone on my team. You start forking and having different sequences as you walk people through the whole customer journey. Eventually, the whole goal is to get them to land on this page, which is our sales page, for 30 days to a better YouTube channel. Now, we've done a lot of work and testing on this, and we're pretty happy with where it's at now. And it is pretty long, which is not the type of sales pages that I really like. When I see a long sales page on YouTube, and I guess gotta scroll a lot, I'm like, I'm out, dude. Like, you're trying too hard to sell this thing. But the data doesn't lie. Like, we have found that this page now is converting very well for us. The goal isn't necessarily to sell in the emails. That's kind of more to whet someone's appetite, to tease them to get to this page and find out more. The main goal is just to get someone interested enough to click and come to this website and want to learn more. And then we let this page do all the heavy lifting in terms of generating the sale. Once they get here, they can read more about it. If they're ready to learn more, they can click, and it takes them down to like, okay, let's recap everything you're going to get, and we walk them through all of that, and they can go through the checkout process and immediately start the course. Now, the key to making all of this work is you have to be very strategic about how you get people off of YouTube and onto your website to take that next step. And if you do it wrong, you can really hinder the growth of your channel. So it's very important that you click and watch this next video right here that goes into the step-by-step strategy that we use here, as well as what we use with clients. One of our clients 5x his channel growth and his revenue in 1 month using this process that gets people from YouTube to your website to make the transaction. So click right there and I'll see you in that next video.